Hi, my name is Thomas, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Hudson. I've been running the company with my co-founder Tomek for about 3 years. We had our third-year anniversary in September. And previous to starting Hudson, I worked in a variety of roles, but always in the technology industry. And my last job previous to starting Hudson was actually investing in startups. So one of the reasons that I got really excited about starting my own company was because I was working with some really great ones in my role at InnovaCorp, and it was while there that I met some really great founders who inspired me to do my own thing. So Hudson is a visual intelligence platform, and we work with the world's leading brands and publishers to source, create, measure, and enhance the engagement of their photos and videos. And our sweet spot is Instagram and Snapchat. So those are the two platforms where the world's best photos and videos reside. It's where you're seeing kind of the fastest growth and user adoption among people out in the world. And that's really where brands are spending a lot of their time and energy in growing their audiences and deepening engagement with their audiences. It's funny because the idea of Hudson, as it is now, was not the original idea. So I guess when Tomek and I, my co-founder, first met, we had this initial vision that mobile and content and commerce were going to come all together in one place. That vision ended up being true. Our initial approach to building a product and taking it to market to realize that vision was actually for us to be an e-commerce platform ourselves. So we built a mobile application that would actually connect people to brands through great content and to items that they could shop all within one mobile application. So we thought that we were going to be the retailer that kind of pulled all of those things together. We spent about a year and a half to 2 years building out on that vision, so building consumer applications that would do that. It was on kind of the second iteration of building a mobile commerce application where we started to leverage Instagram as a growth channel. So we were sharing content from our app to Instagram to acquire new users. We were hiring influencers to talk about us on Instagram so that we could acquire new users. We were providing incentives to our users to share content out to Instagram so that we could acquire new users. So kind of needless to say, we were really leveraging Instagram, and we were sharing lots of content out to Instagram as a marketing activity. Talking about the kind of most recent iteration of Hudson, which is the B2B Insights platform, we realized that we had something really special really almost from when we first started showing it to people. We had these really smart marketers who were interested in what we were doing, and so we showed it to some of them, and like the initial feedback that we got was amazing. I mean, I can still remember some of the quotes, like people just saying like, "Oh my God, it's so beautiful." It's like, "Oh my God, you're telling me all the things that I wish I knew." And these were comments and feedback we were getting from kind of the very first versions of the product that we were showing to people. And so we knew that it was something that had solved our problem. We very quickly heard that it was the same problem that other marketers had. We realized that there were only kind of like really crappy, like ugly solutions that were out in the market that didn't do a very good job, and that ours did do a good job. And so it was pretty early on that we were able to validate it from kind of a problem-solving point of view. I think that what we didn't validate for a few months was the value that we could create around the product. There are platforms on the market that are of lower quality, that are kind of built for a smaller customer, that charge a tenth or even a fifth of what we do. And so we've been able to create great value in our product by building a very sophisticated product that works for a very sophisticated marketer. So I think the startup community in Atlantic Canada it's growing really quickly. I think it's becoming smarter, it's becoming more resilient, and I think more supportive of itself. So when I first kind of got into the startup community, I was working on kind of the financing side. And to be honest, there weren't like a lot of companies that were out there that were actually growing and demonstrating success. There were a lot of people that were working on companies and people that kind of had an interesting idea or going after an interesting market, but we weren't seeing growth. Everybody was talking about like Radian 6 and Go Instant and all that kind of stuff, and both are outliers in a lot of ways. But outside of those companies, like, which seem now a bit like kind of like lore, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't see companies that were like really growing and generating revenue and growing their teams in a meaningful way, like off of revenue, not just off of financing. So I think now we're actually seeing a class of companies develop that are the new breed that have the potential to become kind of these outliers in the future. They're run by great entrepreneurs, they're revenue focused, they understand growth, they have sophisticated sales and marketing teams, and they're building like world-class companies, and they do that because they're amazing founding teams. They leverage the success that the community here has had in the past, and they're going out into the world to be the best. None of these companies kind of reference a local market. They don't reference a local customer. They all have gone out and immediately tried to work with the best and smartest companies in the world as customers, and really prove that like they're at the top of their game, and build those kind of moments of reference into, leverage those into building bigger companies. So I think like, to me, it's just like there's this whole new wave of really great companies that are building up.